Athletes and fans around the world, welcome back to another Primetime Muscle. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're having a great workout, watching us on cardio like so many people do around the globe.
Shout out to Mac Truck. Mac Truck, my friend from LA, always sends me a message. Tarek, I love watching Primetime Muscle when I do my cardio. Huge laugh. Love you and Tim. Cannot say the same thing about Chris.
That's my
Mac Truck, my homie.
That's my homeboy. That's not your homeboy. What up, Mac? It's me, dog.
Real deal, Chris Cormier, Tarek Elgindi.
What up,
so many people around. You know, you guys have this inner rivalry inside here. Team Tarek or Team Cormier, and there's the polls. And then I get fans that come up and say, "Hey, I love the show. You know, you guys are great. It's nice to see you guys. They're hilarious." And I say, "Are you Team Cormier or Team Tarek?" And they say, "Do you not have a team?" I said, "I guess I don't. I guess I don't have a team."
You're the quarterback.
I'm the quarterback. Well, whatever team you're on our team today, and we're glad to have you. And we're talking about the Olympia today because you can't talk enough about our Super Bowl, our big day. And this is a very special big day coming up. The 60th Olympia is coming up quickly in Las Vegas, back where it should be. We've had it all over the country, all over the world. But Tarek, there's a lot of facets to the Olympia that make that whole week very special.
Tim Wilkins, I'm going to quote 7-time Mr. Olympia, Phil Heath. Olympia or nothing. On the bio of Arnold Schwarzenegger, it was right there. 7-time Mr. Olympia, I killed the Predator. You can win the New York Pro. That's a great, great show. You're a New York Pro winner. You can win the Arnold Classic. You're an Arnold Classic winner. It's an amazing title. But once you become Mr. Olympia, you are forever Mr. Olympia. I was with Brendan Curry in Brazil, and when they announced his name, Mr. Olympia, Brendan Curry, the audience knew they were seeing something different they have seen before. He's a Mr. Olympia. At some point in his career, he was the best in the world. Not only that, when you are Mr. Olympia, there's a sandow, right? There's a sandow. And on that sandow, your name goes on for eternity. I've seen that sandow many times. And the name of the competitors go right there.
Correct me if I'm wrong, 60th Olympia, 17 Olympias?
I believe so, yes.
17 people to hold the title. That is pretty elite in 60 years.
And Tim, just an example, Hadi Choopan from Iran. When I saw the sandow for the 2023 Mr. Olympia, Hadi Choopan's name was on the sandow. And it's 4 sides. So it can be on the side of Cutler, there's the side of Coleman, the side of Lee Haney. Hadi Choopan's name was on the side of Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's going to be there forever. So in about 100 years, you're going to see the name Hadi Choopan, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Benu, and those guys. It's legendary. I'm quoting Phil Heath, Olympia or nothing.
Well, the Olympia has always been the most prestigious, the most wanted win for any of the competitors. And now it's, different categories, but that main open category is what, people, chase after, for the most of their life. So, everything that goes along with it, the hype leading up to the show, it's like the Super Bowl. It's almost like when you start to train for it, you do Olympia reps. Olympia reps is way more different than any other show. And, we used to do the, the Road to the Olympia videos and everything.
I remember those.
Everyone looked forward to that. And, that was the chance for us to see, if it came out, before the Olympia, we get a chance to see updates on someone's work that they've been putting in all the year. And, I used to miss the coming in with the suits. We all decked out. We've been seeing each other all these months in sweats in the gym, and now we can dress up. We got the tailor-made suits just for that day because you know you're gonna blow up and be a whole another size. So coming in with the nice suits, the press conference.
Oh, the press conference has always been so much fun.
So amazing to be a part of. And now, you know, it's so many competitors. Now it's like invitational only, I think. So it's not everyone doing the...
With all the divisions.
With all the divisions. I mean, you're talking from fitness on to physique to, you know...
Wellness and bikini.
Yeah, everybody. So
yeah.
everybody can't be up there one time. But, you know, and that's the thing, you know, juggling to see which is the best format to put everybody into. And it's kind of like a surprise each year how they decide to do it that year. I think we're still making changes in that. We, not like I'm doing it, but us as a sport, still making changes at that part of it. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I get excited every year for this show. I've been going to every one since not everyone, but 88 was my first one. And I went to a lot of them. I never went to the one in Helsinki or, you know, Rome, you know, nothing like that. But all over the United States, you know, from Atlanta, they had like 3 in a row. Those are iconic shows. The one in Las Vegas, the Mandalay Bay.
Mandalay Bay was great. Those, I remember you were competing. I was emceeing back then.
Yes.
It just hit me. This is my 25th year.
25th year.
So, guys, it starts off. My week starts off, and then it builds with yours, with Amateur Olympia, then the press conference, and I love the excitement and the buzz going on in the press conference. That night is the Meet the Olympians. And it gives the fans that opportunity to get up close and personal with all their stars. They're all there in every division. They've got their booths. You get to see who the buzz is around. And then it starts the next morning with the electricity at the Expo, which is getting bigger and better every year. Shout out to Tim Gardner and the team. And then prejudges at the Expo, which I love.
The game faces start at that time. That's when you start to see each other, maybe in the gym or passing, going from, you know, one meeting to the next or whatever, but the game faces start at that time.
And, you know, the Meet the Olympians is fantastic. It's packed. That's the contact the fans have with their superstars. I love the check-ins because you can start seeing some differences. The Olympia check-in, and I think this year we're going to do something different. The Olympia check-in was broadcasted live on Olympia TV. So subscribe right now if you want to see the tension. In 2022, Derek Lunsford walked into that check-ins, and he was all friendly, all nice, and smiles. 2023, when he won the Olympia, he wasn't as friendly. He had a little bit of a game face to it. And I could tell those things. Those things are small nuances that we can see if we're there. Another great tradition about the Mr. Olympia is the announcement. I find it to be a little bit deflating when they announce the second place and then the winner, right? So in second place, Chris Cormier. In first place, Tim Wilkins. I know you've heard that a lot of times. In first place, Tim Wilkins. At the Olympia, Bob Ciccarello, who's the best MC in the world. I love Bob. He's a self-centered, arrogant bastard, but we love Bob. He's the best in the business. He calls the two competitors in the end, and he explains to the audience.
The next name you hear
is the champion. I like that. That is something that only the Olympia does, and that's unique to the tradition of the Mr. Olympia. It's Olympia or nothing.
And I love, as another Bob thing, and as apparently the second best MC in the sport, I love, and I've kind of stolen this, when you get those two people out there, almost every time, one is the defending champion and one is the contender. And you hear one of two phrases from Bob. You're either going to hear, and still, you're retaining that title. But like last year with Keon, last year with Derek, Last year, there was so many great upsets last year.
Right.
And you hear,
And the physique.
and
Women's
new.
Women's physique.
Women's physique.
She said, and
with Sarah-
again.
And again. Oh, there was a third one because of Sarah Villegas.
Yes.
So that is such a level of excitement for the audience, for the people at home, the people in the audience. This year we've got a new tradition sparking up because two of my best friends last year were so mad at me. You got some heat. Give me some tickets, man. Things sold out in 5 minutes. This thing, we're going to have a watch party set up at the hottest club in Vegas at Zouk. And we're going to have celebs and all kinds of fun and great stuff going on. It's going to be an event in an event.
It's going to be very special.
And listen, America, we don't have tickets, okay? This is a sold out event. You want tickets, you got to be online as soon as they release the tickets, okay? If you went to high school with me in Brazil, I don't have tickets for you. I don't have tickets for my wife. That's how crazy the Olympia is. You need to be there and you need to buy it. I don't have tickets. I'm just letting you know this is the most prestigious bodybuilding event in the world. Get online right now, olympiaproductions.com. Get your ticket before your life becomes miserable.
Well, it is going to be it's going to be quite an event. You're not going to want to miss it, whether you're there, and I suggest you be there for the excitement. The expos, the prejudge, the press conferences. You want to be part of everything at the Olympia. And you want to follow us all the way up to the big date. And we'll continue to tell you who's qualified for this year. We're going to do that and more. We're going to be talking more Olympia when we come back on Primetime Muscle. We are still talking about Viva Las Vegas, baby. We are talking about the big event. And guys, we have had, the Olympia has been in and out of Las Vegas over the last 25 years. You mentioned Mandalay Bay. We were at the Orleans for a few years, and now going back to Resorts World, a stunning full-service resort that's going to have so much to offer. But there are nuances to making Vegas really work and really amazing. Derek, throw one out.
So, you know, the NFL, the NBA, when they have their Super Bowl, they have their best game, they hope that it's in the best town. And we have the benefit to go to Las Vegas and have the Mr. Olympia there. What I want to tell you guys is this. Having the Mr. Olympia in Las Vegas makes the experience even better. And we're talking about the entertainment. You can not only watch the Mr. Olympia, but if you're there with your wife, you're with your girlfriend, you can do a show. You can do Circus du Soleil. You can do a lot of these great shows, which you can't do in Orlando, you can't do in Atlanta. The second thing, the greatest restaurants in the world are in Las Vegas. So I know you and I are not going to be eating tilapia and chicken. That's for the competitors. You want to go to the Aria Resort at Javier's and get some Spanish food. You want to hit Fogo de Chão and get some steak. You want to get some pasta at Bellagio. You can have access to the best restaurants in the world. The third thing is this. You want to go for some shopping, right? You can go outlets and buy some really nice stuff. A lot of the Brazilian friends, they go, man, show me the outlets in Las Vegas. We have 2 outlets that are amazing. But if you have the paper, you can find the best places to buy luxury items, such as purses for your wife, such as fine timepieces. Las Vegas just brings everything together for the fans. And I know the VIP ticket holders. They love bodybuilding, but they also want a nice steak.
They got the Forum Shops. The Forum Shops is excellent because they got all the restaurants, all the places you could buy nice clothing, watches, like my man here.
Timepieces, he called them.
Timepieces.
Timepieces.
And there's also the gyms. They got remarkable gyms.
Torture
all around.
Gym, Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's Lair.
Flex Lewis's gym.
All around Las Vegas. It's that's where you want to do is find yourself a good place to eat, find yourself a good place to train, get that pump ready for the next weekend. What else can you do?
I got to build on the tips you gave right off the top. I'm going to give you the biggest tips because we know when the Olympia is. Go on your calendar. Know that it's going to be about the 7th to the 13th, depending on when you come into town. There's two things. Vegas, more than any other town, is built on connections, who you know. And the world is 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Somebody in your world knows somebody. Grease in the palms. But you don't want to wait till the last minute. Start figuring out who you know that works in Vegas, the concierge, the valet guys, who's got a buddy that runs something, and line up your fun months in advance because it books up. Line up your shows months in advance and your restaurant reservations because that stuff books up, especially during a week like the Olympia when we're all in town and trying to enjoy ourselves. Get ready to have that fun. One of the other big things I'll tell you is it's even though it's October, the weather is perfect there.
Pool parties.
Pool parties are the bomb during Olympia time.
I'm going to drop some names. I'm going to drop some names here. Okay? I'm going to drop some names.
Republic.
You want to go to the clubs. You want to have access to some of the clubs. Mark Anthony, Jennifer Dory's husband. He promotes shows in Las Vegas. He's been in Las Vegas the whole time. He's one of us. If you need a connection to clubs, Mark Anthony. Scott Clifton, he was a competitor. He's there in Las Vegas for years. Big Jay Cutler, he knows all the best spots. Jay Cutler will tell you, hey guys, these are the best clubs. But if you want to get a healthy meal, let's go to Whole Foods right here on Las Vegas Boulevard, right?
Protein House.
Manager Matt, he knows the best spots. Jacob Frank, he's the
Global Formulas.
He's in Las Vegas. Latoria Watts, the Dragon's Lair. You go work out at Dragon's Lair with Flex Lewis. All the competitors
Anytime
are there.
Fitness on South Rainbow.
Exactly.
That's my spot.
Yes.
I'm only going to take one speed bump in your entire thing. Mark Anthony, we love you. You're the OG men's fitness Olympia.
Men's physique.
You're just not Jennifer Dory's husband. You have a title. You have an Olympia title. I'm going to throw that props at you. But you are Jennifer Dory's husband. So, yeah, just relegate him to being an arm piece. But I like that.
No. And Mark Anthony knows all the connections. Every time I go to Vegas, I need something. I send him a text message. But there's plenty of stuff to do there. And even when I don't know where to go, I call some of my friends and they say, Tarek, there's a restaurant for you to go there. Supplements, right? The supplement stores are all over. Las Vegas is a place that makes the Mr. Olympia better.
And I will say, this is a weird one. You're going to get there, you rent a car, you get with a little group. The hiking there, if you've got a few days off, is some of the most beautiful desert hiking in the world with the colors of the rock formations, the Ring of Fire, Valley of Fire, all up in there. It is like nothing else. So you've got the parties, the nightlife, the day life, the pool parties, and outdoor fun that you can knock out as well. It is the most amazing full-service place to be. And then when it comes right down to it, you got to ask one big question. Mark Anthony, Scott Clifton, all these people know so much, but where will Chris Cormier party? That's where we want to be. Where are you going to be? You disappeared on me when we were there last time. For days.
I did.
Days.
Days.
I was with Phil Heath.
Tired.
I bet you were.
I was tired, man. Last time I was tired.
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. And I said, where's Chris? And so, yeah, we were with Chris last night.
He doesn't have the stamina anymore.
Not like I used to.
But, you know, I'm just going to give you an example. Some guys, they like to go crazy and party like animals. They go to the clubs. They go to Encore Beach Club. They go to Zouk. They go to these amazing clubs. Then they go to after hours. And then the following day, they go to the pool parties. Some of these men's physique bodybuilders, they're in great shape. They go to the pool parties. It's awesome. There's the VIP ticket holders. They go to the nice restaurants. One time, Jake and I, we got to Las Vegas a week before. We had no intention of going to a fancy restaurant. We're not going to go to a club. We went to the German beer hall. It's called Hofbrauhaus. Hofbrauhaus in Las Vegas, off the strip. And you sit there, it's very casual. You just drink a beer. Those things are things that if you're going to the Olympia in Las Vegas, you need to experiment, because in Orlando, Florida, it's Disney or nothing. Las Vegas presents more options.
Yes, they have like new casinos coming up all the time. I visited the Durango casino last time. That was pretty cool. But they have like everything sprouting up, so there's gonna be plenty to do, plenty to see, plenty of restaurants to visit. So just plan ahead, guys. Plan ahead.
You super cool, hot-bodied young bloods. You know what it costs out there, by the way. If you're older, just don't know that there's no $2.95 ham and egg breakfast anymore. There's no $2 craps. There's none of that stuff. It's money, baby. Money.
Bring some solid cash if you want to get to the clubs. And remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, with the exception of all of your buddies videotaping you taking one for the team.
Mark Anthony, manager Matt, Jacob Frank, sorry for the DM, the thousands of DMs you're about to get, thanks to Tarek. All right, guys, we'll be back right after this with more Primetime Muscle. Talking about Vegas, and craps is one of my favorite games to play there. And speaking of craps, things are about to get dicey. Guys, you know, the internet, we were talking on a previous episode about Phil Heath having to suffer through being the first one to deal with trolls and haters and the internet and instant feedback that no other bodybuilder had really had to go through at that level. And since then, everybody's got an opinion. They're like diapers. And they're full of you-know-what, and they stink. And there's a lot of people that have street cred that do it, and a lot of people that just are fans with mouths. You guys have a whole lot of insight on who you are interacting with and who you watch and where you're getting your info. Tarek, you start us off.
I want to give credit to some of the guys that are doing a great job. The first name I'm going to mention is Hart McGrath. Hart McGrath covers the men's physique category. And he's very specific. He's not going to cover bodybuilding. He's not going to cover classic physique. That's not his thing. But when it comes to men's physique, the young man knows what he's talking about. His content is super engaged. And let me tell you, I've seen some of the biggest stars. They're on their phone listening to Hart McGrath because that's how good his channel is. He's from Reno. He's got the dreads. He's got the tattoos on his face. The guy is a beast. He's a beast on social media. I love his channel. I wouldn't be surprised if Hart McGrath has an Olympia TV on him very soon. That's how good this kid is.
I like Muscle Discard. And they had, he just got he just got teamed up with Mack Truck. It's a smaller, newer, but I like the way they do their style. You know, he had a couple of guys on. They kind of like broke the story with the debacle, I would say, down in Brazil with
the great toilet controversy.
The toilet controversy in Brazil. And Mack Truck is a great addition because he just says it like it is. And I think they're going to bounce off each other really well together.
Yeah, I did see that guy. What's the name of the guy?
I forgot the name of the guy, but he's been around. He knows what he's talking about, and he's non-biased, so he's not going to have favorites, whatever they're saying, what they see, and just taking what information is out there and talking about it.
We obviously have the bad boy of social media, Nick Trigili. I know a lot of people don't like Nick Trigili. He's controversial. He goes after a lot of people. But
Nick has changed his focus, though. He was the guy that picked apart the sport and who's doing what and who's training wrong. Now he's really working to build his training.
Who's cheating on who?
He's not doing any of that anymore. Now Nick is really working to build his training business. And he's more than anything being one of those guys that shows all the bad form and all the bad training methodologies out there, so he can really show people, hey, I know what to do. Don't do this. Don't hurt yourself, and don't waste your time. Come to me.
You know, the thing is with Nick, I mean, in hindsight, he could see things now, but trust me and believe me, I've seen Nick do some horrendous shit in the gym before, and he knows. I seen him in Gold's Gym Venice, and I was just like, okay, Nick. I mean, what I'm saying is we all did stuff. I mean, I look back at some of the stuff that I was doing in the gym, and it wasn't what I'd be doing now.
Before the Dorian years?
And that was before the Dorian years. So it was, I was, doing a lot of swinging and a lot of, just flying through the reps and, just moving, counting the reps more so than training with the weight. So we've all done it, and I know Nick has done it also. Nick, you did it too. You did it too. We just better.
But credit to Nick Trigili. Nobody can take away the fact that he is Mr. USA's 2014. So there's a bunch of people doing some crazy stuff at the gyms, but they didn't win a significant title like he did. He has more street credit than some of these guys.
Yeah, I didn't say anything about that because he knows damn well I know that he did his thing up there, and he had a great look. So what I was meaning with that is like I feel like when we finish our careers, we can look back and see, that was not the right, and we can start to study and get smarter after we finish our careers, and then be able more equipped to help the ones that don't know so much and want to help them. But well, that's the way I see it.
I like the way you both started off with the positive. Tarek, you were fired up about this topic. You said, oh, no, I have people in my head.
So I have a problem with Greg Doucette. Because Greg Doucette, he made a video talking about, a bikini competitor that's doing this and doing that.
The poses.
And her life is changing, and this is a sexual sport and this and that. And I disagree with him, fundamentally disagree with him, when he only points out the negative. And Greg Doucette, as he said in his video, he said, I was obsessed. I was obsessed about my career. I'm obsessed. The problem when you're obsessed, you lose peripheral vision. And I worked for Gold's Gym for 10 years, okay? I wasn't just in a gym working out, taking supplements, focusing on myself, being obsessed with myself. I was actually talking to people that came to me and said, Tarek, I saw my friend doing a bodybuilding competition and I started a diet. I saw women that couldn't get pregnant because they couldn't lose weight, and their husbands went into a competition, they lost weight, and now they have the ability to get pregnant. I saw people that were in their 60s, 70s and say, I wanted to do one show. That was on my bucket list. And it was a great experience. I saw people with cancer competing. I saw people that were blind, people that had disability. I had all kinds of incredible, amazing experiences in bodybuilding. I've seen people at gyms, 90 years old, training their bodies and becoming healthy. If there's one competitor that does something that none of us can control, that's detrimental to them, you cannot make a video, get on a thumbnail, try to get views, and generalize the entire sport as negative. That's the equivalent of somebody making a video about the NFL, how the NFL is detrimental to the sport, detrimental to the world, because one football player tackled with his head instead of his shoulders. So my advice to Greg Doucette is, lose the crazy obsession, get some peripheral vision, go to a gym, go talk to people like me that have worked at a gym, that have seen people come in and out for literally a decade, and see how many times bodybuilding saved lives.
One of the other favorites I have, I see you on a lot lately, the Menace podcast.
Menace podcast.
Dennis the Menace James.
And Milos.
And Milos.
Chef.
And then a rotating series of guests, which is nice.
Right.
And there's a lot of great knowledge, a lot of great old school, and a lot of great kind of mix of the new controversy on there.
Yes, we do a great job there. Dennis had me on, for a couple of years now, and I feel like we're even getting better and better as we go. Milos does a great job. Milos likes to control the mic a little bit. I got to wrestle it from him a little bit. But also, Dennis has some great guys, some great guests. We all kind of brainstorm what we want to get into, what guests we want to bring on. But I love the continuity of all of us. I feel like, when I went to different places, England, we had a lot of people talking about the podcast. Also this one. Also in Germany, they love Dennis. Oh, we love the show. We love the show. Which is great to hear and great to get feedback from the fans. But great to be a part of something that people want to enjoy, and I enjoy doing it, and I wanted to do it. It wasn't my thing to do before, to do the talking, because I didn't want to even turn pro, because people would be asking me to do seminars. And I was like, I don't want to be doing that. I was really shy growing up, but I'm breaking out of my shell, guys, and you guys are helping me out there, so I appreciate it. That's all I got to say on that.
The Truth with Hani Rambad, the good one. Cutler Cast, I have found in the times that I've listened to it, is not a bodybuilding centric. It's kind of that holistic life, deeper meaning Joe Rogan kind of thing, with Jay getting into deeper into people's lives.
Love the Cutler Cast. Sometimes the interviews are like 2 hours, and I'm engaged for the 3 hours. Like when Sean Ray was there, it was a great episode. He brings a lot of great people, and Jay has a quality to him that we didn't see when he was competing. But when he was competing, he was quite reserved. And when he's there with manager Matt, they let it go. And you get to see a lot of Jay Cutler, which is also very refreshing. And I think that's one of the best podcasts. I want to mention one guy here, Mike Israetel from Renaissance Fitness. Love that show. He's so knowledgeable. That guy has the, he's funny, he's entertaining. That's a great show.
But the Fauzi,
Fauzi Fitness, Goat Fitness. I love all these guys. Nick Strength and Power continues to be great, but the only issue with Nick Strength and Power is that now he's getting these sponsorships, which is great, but now you're attached to a company, you're attached to a bodybuilding show, so you can't really be critical of things. You got to be in the middle position. And what made Nick Strength and Power so popular, and he did so well, was that he was fully independent. He didn't have any attachments with anybody. But now he got big, which is great, credit to him. But now you sign a contract with this, you sign a contract over there, you know what I mean? So he's gonna have to find out a middle term there to do what has made him so popular and not lose his originality, and tell the sponsors, hey man, you're giving me money, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna criticize your athlete, your show, whatever.
Fuad
Abiyad
podcast. He does a great job having guys on. I mean, they talk about anything and everything under the sun. Some bodybuilding, some training, some manscaping, some...
very important stuff.
How many times you clip your nails. They talk about every single thing you can ever think of. But he has a great audience, and he's been doing it for a while. And, they have a great setup with some great casts.
And, sorry, I want to say bad things about somebody. There's a fool. There's a fool in the internet doing, I think it's called Bodybuilding Legends or something, and he puts the thumbnail, why does Jay Cutler hate CBum? It's a ridiculous thumbnail. I never clicked on it. I just want to say, stop doing that. You're a fool.
All right. Straight out of the lair with Flex Lewis. One more we want to shout out to. Guys, so much fun and so much excitement about the sport right now and leading up to the 60th Olympia. Chris Cormier, Real Deal. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, man. I want you guys to like this one. and tell us what you think about your favorite topics, your favorite podcasts that you like to watch.
Share with where you want to party, eat, hang, and the things you like to do in Vegas for the fellow viewers to watch and grow from.
We forgot to mention Dorsey, the Goob. The Goob, your boy Goob.
The Goob.
The Goob. Goob does a great job getting
calling
all
out the suckers.
Getting
calling
all
out the suckers.
Goob getting all the psychotic people in the internet,
Yes.
putting to shame.
How can we forget?
The Goob Dorsey does a great job.
Tarek El-Gindi remembering the Goob. And Chris, before he leaves,
man.
Chris is already waiting for his Uber and his Uber Eats. As always, such a pleasure to have you all with us. We'll see you next time on Primetime Muscle.